As more time passes, the art contest fades into the background. Last week I had a scare with when Principal Scaler called me to her office. I feared that they figured out what Olivia did and assumed I was a part of it, just as she predicted. Luckily, that wasn't the case. Instead, she wanted to inform me that they had no lease as to who could have done the swap, and since it was tampered, it said it be removed from the contest. No skin off my back, honestly. And honestly, it's like, the best outcome for the whole situation, really, so... what's worse is that he could have been punished or reprimanded further, really, so, but... He comes forth, he admits it, no harm, no foul. Well, and then we just go about our day, so... That's good. As compensation, she gave me one of the runner-up prizes, a coupon for some pizza from some Italian restaurant called Dino's. These wordplays. I get the humor, but I still have to do, like, the whole head palm, face plant thing. Oh my goodness. Not the biggest pizza fan, but not a bad prize to get after all of this. Saving it for a rainy day. Oh, really? Like the rainy day that you just had? However, I find myself in a conundrum of my own doing. My peers' concerns about my entry were resolved, but I hadn't accounted for the new questions about my portfolio. My paint portfolio. The few times I showed off my photography work, they'd been mildly impressed at best. They were never upfront about it either. No, instead I got the runaround. Oh, yeah, these are nice, Inko. Not bad, but, what about what you did for the contest? I can't even be mad about it, since it's just another misunderstanding. Unintended lie, from my side of things. But then I had a thought. What if it wasn't a lie? What if I was actually good at painting? And after working at it for the past month... Yeah, no, I can't unscrew this. For the past 3 weeks, I've been staying after school, making use of one of the club rooms to practice. Sheesh, Inko, did you listen to any of the tips I gave you? Using everything I had at my disposal, namely the textbooks for Mr. Yurdakin and how-to or tutorials online, I stay as late as possible trying to get to the same skill level as Olivia. And as I stare at the horrid acrylic monstrosity before me, I can do nothing but weep at my own inadequacies. Not actually weep, but squinting at the Lovecraftian horror before me, and I can maybe see a little progress drowning in the madness of the excess paint. Olivia had made good on her promise to teach me around the time I asked Mr. Iodakin to borrow the keys to the spare room. And while I memorized all of her teachings down to the letter... What am I even looking at? Are you trying an abstract sort of thing here? It was an attempt at a self-portrait, actually. Could probably post it online and some rich asshole would buy it. Jeez. Is that good? No, not exactly, Inko. No, never trust the opinions of people on the internet. Rather true. I learned that the hard way. I don't know. After a brief period of awkward silence, I let myself collapse on the stool behind me and toss off the oily apron in frustration. At this rate, I'm going to be a double fraud or something. But yeah, I kind of get the whole effort of, like, trying to be better at it, because I think for myself, as far as, like, my own painting and drawing skills go, is that I know the techniques more or less, but it's the execution of them. For some reason, there's a disconnect between the head knowledge and the actual movement of my hands for it sometimes. I mean, and again, we had that whole, like, sketch segment near the beginning of this, and I admit is that what I did is that I just took a reference and did that, but the level that I did it, I'm pretty sure an actual artist could have done that in 5 minutes, and I took 20 to 30 minutes in order to do that, really, so. Crick. Oh. Well, then even the easel thought it was a monstrosity that needed to be destroyed. Splat. I don't even have the energy to get angry. Probably looks better now, at least. How did Olivia get so good at this? Olivia, please, you gotta have some actual advice for me. She quietly hums to herself, slipping away a notebook she'd had splayed across her lap into a nearby bag. Well, when I want to draw, it's usually because I've got something on my mind. What, like inspiration? Kinda. More so that I just envision something and I want to put that on canvas. Amuse them? Whoa! I didn't even get a chance to finish the sentence. The door of the studio flies open and Damien quickly storms inside. Inko! Olivia! Are you guys here? He takes heavy breaths as his vision darts about the room. Dude, we're right here. God! After a moment of surprise, I raise my arm to catch his attention. Damien, what's wrong? The hyperactive Dilophosaurus spots me, taking a final breath before jogging over. Guys, I need to ask you something. What? Is everything alright? Is something happening? I can't help but panic. I've never seen Damien this flustered. Do you want to come to the arcade with me and Liz? Well, I guess that's a reason for excitement. Is that it? Yeah, that's what I said! Wait, when was this decided? I thought something bad had happened. Nope, just asking. Liz already has the car prepped and everything. Oh. I probably should have expected that, but still. How did you know we were here? I didn't! I just kept opening doors until I found you two! I've been at it for a while, actually. Damien. Our little himbo boy. Well, actually, two himbo boys. Himbo dinosaur boy, and then our himbo human boy. There we go. Himbos are us. Damien's eyes dart to the canvas that lies on the floor next to me. You working on your next masterpiece? Ooh, painting sideways is probably one of your trade secrets, huh? Olivia hides her snicker with her hand. Don't worry, I won't tell a soul. Yeah, that's right. Don't tell anybody. I lean down to pick up the canvas and place it upright, deciding to remove the ugly painting and place it in the corner of the room to dry. Anyway, how about it? To the arcade? The Olive Baronix fidgets, her brow lowered in contemplation as she considers the question. The arcade, huh? It's not like I had any other plans today. Sure, why not? Alright, let's go! Wait, don't just... And then there's you go. There we go. Inko, Olivia, there you are! Damien was taking so long to get to you, so I was about to come find you myself. This time both Damien and I are wheezing for air. Despite Olivia's protest and hesitation, Damien had wasted no time in grabbing her by the handlebars and sprinting for the exit. I had chased after them, all the while Olivia screamed like a banshee as she was pushed through the hallway at a breakneck pace. Yeah, I take a deep breath and stand upright. Olivia's claws have dug into her armrest, and she's definitely trying to kill Damien with her glare, which he happily ignores. Why didn't you just message me or something? I wanted to, but... I didn't want to ruin your concentration, man! So instead you kept the art room door open? Yep! Liz had the good grace to look embarrassed on Damien's behalf. But yeah, gave you a little bit of extra time, right? You've been staying late forever now. I can't hide the wins. It hadn't occurred to me that more people would notice. Yeah, relax. Not like you're the only one. Yeah, I sometimes need to stay behind for student council and club meetings. Right, sure. So, come on, the car's in the student section. The Dino duo started toward the student parking lot, heading towards a rather old but well-kept sedan. Olivia grumbles silently to herself, but follows after nonetheless. on, dude. It'll take a few minutes to get Olivia in and then 30 to get to the arcade. It won't take that long, damn it. Olivia huffs and wheels herself to the passenger side, opening the door for herself. Do you need any... It's fine. To punctuate her statement, Olivia uses her strong arms to lift herself on her armrests. Then, with more grace than I thought possible from the olive-scaled girl, she manages to flop down into the passenger seat. I stare at the abandoned chair, wondering where to put it. I've got room in the trunk, Inko. Clunk. The trunk lid pops open with a heavy thunk to punctuate that. It takes me more time than I'd like to admit to figure out how to undo the locks to actually collapse the chair, but once it's done, I'm able to slide into the spacious storage area easily. Damien had already hopped through the window of the front passenger seat by the time I'm done, as if he'd practiced the maneuver. Clack, clack, clack. I simply open the door behind Liz's seat and watch as a pile of soda cans empty onto the pavement below. Sorry, those are from this morning. How much soda did you have in the morning? I just toss them in the back seat when I'm done. Of course. Surprised Liz doesn't make you use a bag. I do. Damon pulls up an overflowing plastic bag as if it were a trophy. Why haven't you tossed all those bottles out already? I'm saving them for a project about recycling. Plus, I'm going to use a couple of them for a sculpture. Saves me the trouble of going out and finding aluminum. I guess so. You know, recycled art projects. And I get to drink as much soda as I want! I don't really say anything as Damien scoops out the rest of the cans from the floor of the car and puts them in a new bag, which he then stuffs in the car's trunk before giving me and Olivia a thumbs up. Alright, dudes, we're good to go! Oh, that's nice. I nod and sink into the semi-clean seat. My hand searches for the buckle of the seatbelt and brushes against something warm and soft. There's a tiny gasp next to me, and the comfortable mystery in my hand is yanked away. Huh? I look to Olivia, her hand held to her chest. Her green face has a scarlet tinge, and her mirror-shade eyes glare holes through my head. You okay? The emerald-scale girl turns her maw for me. I stifle a mystery chuckle at that. The warmth on my palm fades, however, and leaves my hand feeling lost. Okay, all the safety checks are done. Oh, good God, that girl. Oh, jeez. How terrible it is for her to drive. Liz gets in the driver's seat and grips the steering wheel. Outside, she's craning her neck to check on the mirrors and tires. Wait, Liz drives with her head sticking out the window? Yeah, I figured that would probably make sense. Liz pokes her head in. What's that? Her neck snakes inside and coils around the hook in the middle of the car. Oh. Okay, I guess that would offer some support. Right, that's innovative. Or at least to think about. Then with practice motion, her neck continually coils till her head sits atop the neck roll, as if no different from someone putting on shoes. Kind of looks like a giant scale-covered scarf. There's even still enough space for her to see the windows and check behind her. Inko? Oh, it wasn't anything important. Alright. But, the city, right? I'd actually been wanting to see it a bit more up close for Dawkins' class. Do you know how much gas money it burned through to take a detour around here? Good, because neither do I. Let's do it. Okay, I think that might have been purposeful. I thought for a moment that I had double-clicked really so. But I think that was purposeful so that we barely get to see what the text was. Hey, what? No! I barely have enough as is. The view on the way is fine. Looking forward to it as well. You sure? Yeah, I'll point out some stuff I remember along the way. You're my tour guide now? Don't make me change my mind. Glad that's settled. Everyone buckled in, right? Liz pulls away from the school parking lot, starting down the opposite direction I've always entered and exit. Weird to think, but the edge of my world was as close as a right turn out of my own school. Then again, I still haven't been living here long. Anybody want a station? I don't think I've ever listened to the radio here either. Liz and Olivia hardly seem to glance in Damon's direction as well. Suit yourselves! In the span of a few seconds, the natural ambience of the road is replaced with the loud sound of decades-old rock music, sending vibrations throughout the car and everybody in it. Oh gosh, I hope this isn't like an actual song that I'm gonna have to like try and like block really. So okay, it turns down. Just as fast as it comes, however, it stops as Liz haphazardly yanks the volume knob counterclockwise, toning the music down to a bearable level. Damien frowns for a moment, but he doesn't seem to contest her decision. Bzzz. What the? I turned off all the notification stuff except for messages and calls. Between all the people I messaged, there's only one who isn't inside the car. Checking the screen, I see... Any song requests, man? Seriously? I don't know, Damien. So long as it isn't twangy country music. Sure. Wait, you've been texting? How long? Yeah, since like the first week of school. Heck, dude. Let me see your phone. I hand it over open on the contact creation page. She taps the first few numbers and pauses. Then sheepishly yanks her phone from her coat pocket. She doesn't know her own number? Olivia finishes tapping her number in and hands it back. She's entered herself as Live Long. Sounds vaguely oriental. Bzz. Test. Yep, got it. Bzz. That was uncalled for. That's why I sent it. She giggles at her own joke. Despite being the butt of it, the mood in the car is too high to hold it against her. Before long, the dense forestry starts giving way to more urban developments. More and more decorative palm trees start dotting the paths as well. The silhouette of the city gets closer, and we approach one of those spaghetti junctions leading up to it. The result of decades of poor infrastructure decisions, multi-million-dollar projects promising to fix all the traffic if they just built one more overpass. Olivia is paying close attention to her phone. She scrolls lazily through some forum. What's so funny? Oh, nothing. Hey. Lizard Lounge? Oh boy, you're still browsing that, Olivia? Yeah? What is it? Don't tell him. It's this weird exclusionary chat room. They only allow dinosaur women. Men and, rather specifically human men are banned. Racial segregation? Olivia showed me once, and the people on it are really weird. Humans are banned? You weren't supposed to tell him. It's the last safe house for us on the internet. I think there's probably better places for that online for you to associate with. Tell me about the racial segregation. It's not that. It's just how it has to be for our safety. Some dino girl can be doing anything at all, and there's always at least 3 guys in the comments saying she looks like. Like, don't say it. They also really bring down the quality of the site. Look, it's explained in the rules that humans have 1/5 the attention span of dinos. Okay. Whoa, here. Right. Not gonna comment. So, Liz groans while Olivia shows me her phone. The graph is blurred to hell, and I can't make out most of the text. I don't know how I feel about all of this. What's not to get, Inko? Think about it. You're in history class, it sucks, so you just remember, wait a second, I'm human, and stop listening. I wish I could do that. According to Lady Hitler here, you can. It's just a funny group of women like me. Lay off, let me have it. You don't really believe that stuff though, do you? Not really, it's just the rules of the place, alright? Girl, you have to get off of that. You have to stop. You have to stop, girl, come on. Okay. Olivia sticks the phone back in her pocket with a huff. Was the ride to the arcade always this long? I think we're about 20 minutes away from the arcade still. Oh god. Don't worry, the water fountains are integrated. What up? Oh my goodness. Shut up! Damien cackles to himself. Alright, I hope the place still sells those hot dogs for just $1. There's no way anyone anywhere will sell hot dogs for $1 anymore. Yeah, but they did. It was great. Livy and I would save our lunch money to just go here instead after class. I don't think I'd trust it as if it were still that cheap, honestly. You ate a dog off the floor once. That's different. Damien fills the air with old tales of his and Olivia's adventures in the arcade. She'd occasionally chime in to correct him on whatever over-embellishment. Even as the last remnants of suburbia melt away and skyscrapers overtake our view of the outside world. Finally, I'm in the big city. Here we are! I'm almost disappointed when we pulled into the arcade parking lot. Large glass windows covered in sun-bleached promotional leaflets adorn the front of the arcade, and the building itself looks a couple decades old. This place was probably successful in the past, but I can only imagine they break even nowadays. Though, maybe the recent resurgence of retro deco could change that. I can show you more on the return trip. Come on. Guess she must have seen my brief hesitance. Liz unlocks the trunk and I hop out to get Olivia's chair. As I attempt to heave the thing out of Liz's trunk, it takes considerably more effort than I'd like to admit. Now, how do I unfold this blasted thing? I think there's a release button right... As I check to make sure that all my fingers are intact, I can see Olivia snickering through the passenger window. Inko-san, you have much to learn. Observe. Olivia makes sure the brakes are held, and heaves herself over in one motion. The chair is forced open by momentum alone with a loud crack. She gracefully rolls by me, tongue stuck out in smug victory over my ineptitude. Ready. Sweet! Damon hurries us inside, and I can tell he's the most excited to be here out of anybody. Dude, this place is the bomb! I used to scrounge for change to come here after school. The place is abuzz with activity, flashing machines all competing for attention and gamers excitedly conversing. I lean in a bit closer to Olivia. It's pretty dang loud here. Gonna be alright having to speak up more? Of course I am. What do you take me for, a kid? Sorry. I appreciate the concern. Liz scowls as she peels her boot from the floor with a loud shh. Ugh. Damn, you could have warned me about... Damon's taken off toward a nearby coin machine, fistfuls of bills at the ready. I could have told you too. I've been here before. So why didn't you warn me about the stickiness? Olivia shrugs. Liz's head lowers to bridge of snoot pinching levels. Well, you two did kind of drop this on me at the last minute. But I still remember this place pretty well. Great! You can show Inko around, and I'll go with Damien. Liz meekly puts her pointed fingers together as she looks at the salmon-frilled teen. Those two-player gun thingies look fun to try out. You mean the light gun games? Yeah, those ones. I can't put my finger on it, but something tells me that Liz was banking on splitting apart from the start. Yep, that's correct, Inko. Yes, you've actually gained some ability of reading the room. Congratulations! Though to give me ample opportunity to have some alone time with Olivia. Just to get to know her more, of course. Ah! What? Good golly gosh, Damien, why? There's so much loud sudden noises here in this game. Liz! I think I broke this one's joystick! Okay. Liz sighs heavily through her nose. Seriously, Damien? Oh, come on. It's perfectly even and fair. You sure about this, Liz? We could all just stick together. The long-necked Dino looks around the arcade nervously. As much as I want to protest the suggestion, it might be for the best. Liz wants to stick with Damien, probably to make sure he doesn't do more damage. Inko, you were so close. So close, you're right on the edge. And Olivia knows this place as well, so she'd know all the best games. We've already been spending time together after school, so why not? I'm not against the idea, just, Alright, glad you agree. Liz takes this as her cue to leave, and she quickly pulls Damien away deep into the arcade. Meanwhile, Olivia begins to roll ahead, but stops and gives me an annoyed look. Come on already! Right. As soon as I step closer, Olivia resumes her casual roll down the aisleway. Olivia's eyes seem distant as she looks over the various game cabinets in the room. Several irises dancing to and fro, a soft hum resonating from her mouth. I try and follow her where her gaze lingers, but she seems to be constantly drifting to something new every other moment while deep in her own thoughts. As we carry on slowly, the creeping awkwardness in my stomach gnaws away at me. I've no clue what to do right now. The point of this excursion was to relax. It feels rude to interrupt her, but she definitely knows better than me. Say, Olivia. My voice brings her back to the current moment with a start, her hands maneuvering her chair around to look at me fully. What game should we try first? The Moronic shrugs her shoulders. Anything. Okay, then how about one of your favorites? My favorites? Yeah, you used to come here all the time. I'm sure you've got some you prefer. The look of surprise from her is quickly hidden by her turning her chair back around. Fine. My favorites then. My favorites. She pushes her wheelchair with purpose towards a particularly large screen in the corner. Looking at it closer, there's a large block connected to it, and dull multicolored sticks hanging off the sides with wires. Aw, damn it. I look up at the title above the screen. Ruin Robbers? The more I look at it, the more I see where splotches of fresh paint barely cover poorly done marker graffiti. Olivia's pout is so prominent as she glares at the base of the funny-looking block before the screen. They updated it. So it should be better then, right? Her pout breaks, transforming into a depressed frown as her eyes seem to gloss over. I follow her gaze to the metal plate at the base to try and better understand. The machine looks pretty well maintained if you ask me. Something wrong with it? They added a foot pedal for the cover action. I test the plate, feeling it sink down and noticing the video demo on screen changes to a screen with a bunch of ASS with numbers next to each instance. This sucks. Olivia's hands curl into fists as she glares at the machine. A twinge runs through my chest when I look back to the frustrated Dino girl. One aspect of her favorite pastimes has been changed in a way that almost robs her of it. The thought strikes a painful chord in my heart, though I know I had zero hand in the game update. All the same, to see the clover-scaled girl look so morose. I turn my eyes away to my feet, the sensation leaving as I do, and a flash of brilliance overcomes me as I look at my loafers. Hey, I got an idea. She cuts me off with a growl. I know what you're gonna say. The answer is no. So you're willing to just give up because you can't play it easily? Yes. Olivia's response leaves me a bit floored. Her hateful eyes leer venomously at her former favorite game. But I know my idea will work. Okay, you play then. Haven't you been paying attention? I'll handle the pedal work. Olivia's words are left hanging as she tries to visualize what I'm saying. Her confused gaze wanders between me and the flat rectangle on the floor. The whole time she looks so goofy I have to withhold a chuckle in fear of her clawing me. She must have realized though as she snatches the light gun from my hand, her cheeks bearing a red hue. Fine. One game. She looks at the light gun in her hand and takes a deep breath. You better do your job right, Inko. I give Olivia a nod, and she wheels herself right next to the arcade machine. Gimme. She reaches out for my hand and goes to take it before I can respond. She takes it for a split second, and then moves down to grab my wrist instead. Her scales are soft and cool. Hit the pedal when I squeeze, capiche? I nod in affirmation, and Olivia blasts the start button into pieces. Not so tight! Dude, hit the damn pedal! It's like playing with controller lag. Inko! Sorry! Holy crap, this is worse than I remember. Hi, it's me. I'm God. That makes sense. Here you can see, I put the responding enemies in front of a place you're forced to cross. I came up with this idea while eating a bird. I don't even want to staple my ears to me. Fucking damn it! Not again! This game sucks. Wanna play again? She's a bit intense. When Olivia finally releases her grip on my wrist, I feel my blood rushing through the imprint she left. We ended up playing 4 or 5 games total. That's probably enough. I'm good to move on. You? Are you sure? Dude, you're asking for more pain. I know you're being considerate, but you're asking for more pain. I don't want to keep you here all day. Olivia looks over the machine one last time before sliding the plastic gun back in its slot. I'm still a bit disappointed they changed it, but... Thanks. Alright, there's better games around anyway. Let's go. A stray thought, from before I really got to know Olivia, careens to the forefront of my mind. Sometime along the way, people started calling her Hot Wheels. Don't remember really who or when. But I do know it's proof that she's got that fire in her. A fire in her. Before she can roll too far away... blah, blah. Okay, try again. Before she can roll away too far, my hand takes hold of one of her chair's grips, jolting the Dino girl from her sullen stupor. Say, I've got an idea, Hot Wheels. Why don't we try the fighting game you were so good at? The fighting game? Olivia's jaw clicks shut and her hands ring together tightly. Arcade cabinets can't change, right? I mean... Her gaze turns toward the opposite end of the arcade, and I can hear the loud hollers of competition from here. Come on, Hot Wheels, what do you say? The name seems to invigorate her, her glacier irises hardening and her ivory claws touching at her wheels. An eerie grin creeps across her features, tongue polishing an incisor as her predatory eyes latch onto a particular cabinet on the far side. Olivia picks a direction and speeds off, parting the sea of sweaty dinos and leaving a small space of safety in her wake. After a short while passing some digital pachinko machines, she looks back at me for a moment as if to confirm my presence and to say, "Don't lose me." And then yanks her wheelchair to launch herself through the building towards a new destination. What? Hey! I finally give chase, following as best as I can while avoiding the rest of the All-Star players that just witness the high-speed Dino girl shoving them aside in her wake. As I get closer, the atmosphere seems to grow thicker, the very air becoming dank and heavy, almost as if someone dialed a humidifier up to 11. For a second, I have to stop in my tracks to catch my breath and try to cool down as my shades begin to fog up. So this is the power of the fighting game crowd. I'd heard things, but I thought they were jokes. Through the fog, I spot Liz, or rather Liz's head, sticking above the crowds. Yo, you found us! Getting closer, Damien and Liz's head come into view. Olivia stops and checks one last time that I didn't get washed away in the crowd. She then moves past Damien and Liz, coming to a screeching halt next to a particular cabinet that's occupied by someone else. She removes a shiny coin from her pocket, placing it firmly down on the controls of the current player, who hardly glances at her. As I step closer, I'm able to overhear the exchange between the two dinos. The greaseball Ankylosaur, without even looking away from the cabinet, starts writing off his credentials to Olivia as if it was a job interview. You know I'm the best Jurassic Kick player this side of Volcadera, right? Double S ranked, 3 online tournament wins. Besides, it's 56, not... Shut up and nut up already. Olivia's voice causes the Ankylosaur to grimace and finally turn his head. You really want to try me? Look, Tiny Tim, you don't want... His jaw clicks shut as his eyes manage to sweep above and then down to Olivia, his eyes squinting as his retina slowly adjusts to the low lighting of something not displaying brightly colored pixelated characters. Bro, you know you can't bring chairs over here, not after last summer. Olivia growls and raises a fist, and I think the pale-scaled Dino finally sees who is challenging him. His mouth flaps helplessly as he tries to explain himself before just stopping himself completely.
Never mind. Sorry.
The Gator girl sighs and taps a finger on the quarter she placed down. Rules say you can't refuse, right? His head tilts in confusion. You know, you look to be the new champ here, right?
Yeah, yep.
This is the champ's cabinet, right? Damien's come over by this point, followed closely by Liz's head. Champ's cabinet?
Unofficial, but that's the oldest one here. Been here since the dawn of time. It's like sacred or something.
I look over the old machine. The paint on it chipped and positively covered in marker ink to the point that the only legible thing on it is a very juvenile edit to the game's title. This thing?
Yeah, man. They only let the head honchos actually use it. If you're spotted trying without credentials, you end up headbutted.
That's bull, but I believe it. I look back to Olivia, who's having a withering stare down with the squat guy she challenged.
Look, lady, I'm a big deal here. Buster O'Nuts, crown champ in all of Volcadera.
Okay, his actual name is Buster.
This particular Jurassic Kick machine's got a history. It happens to be the same machine that Dino and the Rex Go managed to parry.
Hey, quit stalling and fight me already.
I'm not, I'm just setting the stage is all. Plus, you think you're the only challenger I've got?
I look around, noticing there was now a group surrounding us.
On my title as champion, I'll take all comers now!
A hushed whisper goes through the crowd.
Finally, I form a line now!
Okay.
Tallest to smallest.
What?
No cutting. Oh, heck yeah! We're gonna wipe the floor with you, Buster!
Wait. What? I don't even play video games! And I'm not really a gamer either.
Too bad, consider it the blood tax.
I want to protest further, but Olivia's head turns toward me with a pleading look on her face. Besides, you think I want to put my hands on that thing? Who knows where...
We're in!
Inko!
Yes! Come on, Liz, it won't be that bad. You're still by the Brachio booth, right? Hold tight, I'll come get you.
Damien pushes back through the small group around us, following Liz's neck to find the rest of her. Her head swivels around and gives chase, her pleas to not have to play falling on deaf ears. Brachio booth?
The arcade's claustrophobic, so Brachiosaurs will tend to bump into everything, including each other. There are some lawsuits, so now there's a few platforms placed where people with Ikera can sit and reach everything. There's even some water fountains attached. Doesn't stop things from getting tangled when there's multiple, but it's something.
Huh. Lore. In the end, Liz must have relented because she shuffles up to the rest of the group. Fine, let's just make this quick. Liz reluctantly steps forward towards the arcade cabinet, a crooked smile forming on the self-proclaimed champion's face. It doesn't take long for Liz to completely lose. The large Ankylosaur hands moves like a blur as they dance across the controls, pummeling their digital opponent into the ground. As boastful as she was earlier, he at least proved that he was skilled at Jurassic Kick, the screen displaying perfect only after a minute against Liz. Liz crosses her arms and starts heading back to her old seat in the booth, head in tow with a pout. Buster leans his head back against his clasped hands to make a show that it was no big deal.
Next victim!
Damien struts to the cabinet and jams his hands in his pockets for his change. Is there a whole piggy bank in there?
Haven't seen your group around here before. Tourists? Huh? Oh, nah. Liv and I used to come here all the time. Life's been tough, you know, so we got some friends to come along this little trip down memory lane. Lighten the mood a bit. This place hasn't changed much in the years either. Aha!
He hoists the quarters high and jams them in the slot. Once more, the screen lights up and the character selection music busts in. Buster considers his selection, and ultimately chooses the same character. Damien jams on the button and said, "What's with that death glare?" Damien just picked a counter to his character. Probably expects all of us to be beginners. Buster does seem a bit more tense now. Been a while since, though. Okay. Her explanations cut short as her words take on a scratchy quality to them. Hey, you okay? What? I'm fine. I can go and refill your canteen pretty quick. Sure. Thanks. She reaches behind her and unhooks her severely dented water bottle from her chair. There's something to look forward to Christmas. That Buster guy said there was water by the Brachio booths. Although I can't imagine the water here is very good. Christmas. What? Wait, what am I thinking? I haven't gotten anyone a gift like that before. Focus, Inku, you're just getting some water. Oh, seems like he is falling for her. Of course. I head deeper in the arcade towards the center, passing through the aisle lit by game screens. You guys are done already? No, just refilling Olivia's bottle. Guess I'm gonna miss Damien's match. Say, Liz, this sticker here, what is it? Her head comes in close as she eyes the weird brand on the canteen. Oh, that's from some really old show. Like, back in the 90s old. Why? Just curious is all. Well, I never really asked Olivia about it. Maybe I should. After all, I think I recall watching a video essay about it once. Though I can never really get into older stuff, the animation always looks so choppy. Recapping the bottle, I laid Liz's head back to the fighting game section. It's surprising that Demi and Buster are still playing, this time both of their hands slamming furiously on the controls. The crowd has even formed around the duo, exchanging low whispers as they watch the old CRT screen. I pick out Olivia at the front of the crowd close to the cabinet so she's able to clearly watch. She's hyper-focused, to the point that when I switch the bottle in front of her face, she just leans over to keep watching. Evil it is, then. I hold the canteen above her muzzle and carefully tip it over until a few drops fall on her face. Her tongue laps along her lips and swipes up the nourishing droplets before glaring at me. Hey! Here you go, fresh from the latrine. Har. She takes the bottle and downs most of it right away before clearing her throat. Thanks. How's Damien's match going? Well, he's getting too aggressive. He is? Yeah, Buster picked a rushdown character, so Damien picked a zoner to keep Buster at a distance. Problem is that zoners are notoriously bad when it comes to footsies, and are even worse with mix-ups, which means that if Buster is able to get into Damien's hurt box, he's gonna get super punished and might even lose the set in a single... Wait a second, I'm human! So Damien has to keep his distance. It's not looking good for him. Oh, crap! Olivia and Y watch from the sidelines. Over the next few seconds, Buster pulls off an impressive series of moves that crush Damien's character into the ground. Almost like he was waiting for us to get back.
Wow, you actually knew how to play!
Buster jams an accusing finger my way, as though marking me for death.
You're next!
Damien's expression carries a hint of disappointment as he steps away from the cabinet, but he quickly peps up and resumes his usual jovial self. Just me and Olivia left. I nervously step up to the cabinet. A plethora of characters in various fighting poses stare back at me, each with their own promises of victory. I recall an old saying Coach Solly had said.
If we do not know what we are doing, then the opposing team certainly can't anticipate our future actions.
I tap my joystick over till the large question mark in the middle of the screen is highlighted, to the astonishment of spectators and my visibly nervous opponent. The game begins, and my opponent beside me seems exceptionally calm as he manipulates his controls. Compared to me, trying out every button and stick can put to figure out what the heck I'm doing. Unlike Damien, who at least looked like he was holding his own against the bloated Buster, I was getting the digital crap kicked out of me. Every attempt I made was met by my character getting grabbed and thrown in some ridiculous, elaborate way. By the time the perfect announcement plays out on the screen, I can feel my wrists cramping from the crazy amount of button mashing I've done in under a minute. At least it lasted a little longer than Liz.
Don't feel too bad. I am the best here after all.
His snort-filled laughter grates on my ears as I walk back to my friends, all of them staring daggers at the pasty-scaled Dino. The rest of the crowd are in an uproar along with him, and I can feel my ears heat up at the attention. Olivia's eyes are narrowed as she wheels herself into position, her tail lashing roughly against the ground as she waits for the laughter to die down and her turn to finally begin. Buster chuckles to himself while cracking his knuckles.
I just finished wiping the floor with your friends while hardly breaking a sweat. Just so you know who you're really dealing with, I'm Buster on Nuts, achiever of octaves in the annual Jurassic Kick Wisconsin E Tournament, demolisher of a carrier, second best player of 2007 and 2012, and co-leader of the Midwestern branch of the Mighty Mouse Gamers Guild. You won't look bad for ducking out. Or are you ready to get busted?
Oh, good God, kick this guy's ass. You're fat.
No, you can still back out of this.
Olivia's response is to insert her coins slowly, without breaking eye contact with Buster with what I can only describe as a predatory leer. She then slams her fist on the start button. Buster instantly moves his cursor towards a different character. Damien next to me lets out a soft gasp. What? What's wrong?
Buster's character is like 3 kinds of bullshit is what's wrong.
What?
Well, for one thing, he's usually gentleman's band at tourneys, and
his mouth is moving, but all that comes out is alien words. Buster lets out a chuckle and turns back to look at Olivia, giving her a smug grin. Olivia doesn't seem at all fazed by Buster's character choice, clicking her joystick lazily. As soon as Olivia picks her character, the game's announcer blares the name aloud.
Wani Long!
Damien turns to look at me. The excitement in his face is overbearing.
That's Olivia's maid! Oh man, this will be one hell of a fight if Olivia's breaking her out.
So, is this Wani Long a good character?
Shortest explanation you'll understand is yes.
What's the long one?
If you don't know what a shoto is, it'll take too long to explain. Here. Bah.
While Damien rumbles on, I recall Olivia's motivation just to get here. That look she had, that more than anything piques my curiosity. So, how good is Olivia with her? Damien's replies to only give me a wide, big grin.
Oh, you'll see.
A loud soundbite from the cabin speaker signals the start of Olivia's match. Given the way Damien spoke of Olivia's skills like it was derived from an ancient scroll, I expected it to be a flurry of pixelated beatdowns and tactful controller play. But instead it looked like nothing at all. On the large display, both characters are just shifting back and forth, the joystick in Olivia's and Buster's hands clacking about furiously. Honestly, it looks more like they're attempting to make their digital avatars tap dance.
Ooh!
Wait, did I miss something? I don't want to turn my eyes away in case anything happens.
No, like they're trying to get a read on each other. It's like they're trying to predict what the other will do so they can counter and steal the match.
Oh. So, they're sizing. There's a heavy crack and thump on the floor in front of me. Olivia's tail lashed at the base of the cabinet, while Buster's Thagamizer had managed to crack onto the concrete floor beneath him. On screen, the characters finally made contact, and sent each other flying in opposite directions. Behind me, the crowd started cheering, finally excited that there was some actual action happening. Damien is hollering next to me, cheering on Olivia with all his might. Though the excitement dies down again as the duo resume their cyber posturing, my eyes darted between Olivia and Buster. Olivia's completely absorbed in the match. Her eyes are wide and full of killing intent. Buster, on the other hand, seems like he can barely contain his fury. 10 seconds on the clock. Olivia comes in clutch, punishing Buster's character with an impressive string of attacks. He manages to get away with a single pixel of health just as the time limit runs out.
Winner! Wani Long!
The crowd goes nuts as Olivia's victory is announced. And you know what? I can't help but cheer along with them. Olivia slumps back in her mobile seat and lets out a sigh before returning to her original position. Buster lets out a snort, twists and stretches his neck, and cracks his knuckles before once again gripping the controls tight.
Round 2! Clash and trash!
The crowds return to a more silent state of observing the match closely, only low murmurs as they gawk at the two highly skilled players. The words passed around reached me, attempting to draw my eyes away.
Weird for him. Surprised he's not doing the... Is he playing with her? Come on, Olivia!
Damien shouted about the rest of them nearly blew my eardrums, but I shared his sentiment as the stylized characters exchanged simple blows. The timer continues to tick down, Buster once again being put on the defensive. With how all the previous bouts went, Buster always had control with a cutthroat level of offense, but I didn't think of him being this passive. The countdown once again hits 0, this time with Olivia's character slouching in defeat and the crowd cheering once again, though less enthusiastically than before.
You've got this, Olivia! Just one more win and you're champ again!
Olivia's shoulders tense up at what he said, and all eyes stare directly at her.
Damien! Come on, Hot Wheels! Show them why they're the best!
She groans a bit and refocuses on the screen. The group simmers down to silence in anticipation of the start of the final match. The sudden silence actually catches me off guard for a second. Long enough for my own doubts to catch up to me. Buster's playstyle, it's like he's not really trying. The match starts, and the hype flares right back up. That's stupid of me to even think. He's a gamer bro champion type. He's got way too much to lose. And yet... Hey, Damien.
Yeah?
Do you notice anything off about how Buster's playing?
You notice it too? Guess I'm not just paranoid then.
Like, I didn't really watch your match, but was he always so...
passive? No. But like, these two are crazy good, so maybe this is all mind games.
As if he's going to throw the game and let her win. We glance back at the ongoing battle happening on the screen, and I take notice of Buster's hand movements. As Olivia launches her character into a furious combo, sure enough, Buster hesitates just enough to let his fighter get hit by the first blow.
That's brilliant timing.
This is crazy. Huh? Then it hits me all at once, like a freight train. The way Buster was looking down at Olivia, how he didn't want to take her challenge, all the excuses he was giving. He's a virgin. What? Okay, yeah, that's a very safe bet there, but why state it like that? Okay, yeah, sure. Of course, sure, we'll go with that statement, I guess. But also, he's throwing the whole match, isn't he? Yes, he is. Oh my god. Damn it! Even here, Olivia was right. Damien, I think he's taking it easy on her.
You think so?
Damien takes a moment to ponder what I said.
Dang. Even here.
That's what I was thinking. Should we do something?
What? Interrupt the match? Everyone else is having fun!
The crowd whoops again. Only now it sounds a bit different. Hollow. Mocking. Damien's frill sags with concern. He turns to me.
What we came here for is a good time. If she can't tell, what's the harm? Jeez. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I hate that he's right. I could stand up for her. I mean, just being there for Olivia when Mia was getting on her went pretty alright. But that was a while ago. I just don't know. I look over the crowd again. The match is about halfway done, judging by the remaining health pools. Oh boy, here we go. Geez, another sudden choice. Don't cause a fuss for Olivia or cheer Olivia on. Wait, don't these two kind of like go hand in hand with each other, really so? Don't cause a fuss for Olivia, which means just let things play out. Cheer Olivia on. This seems like something you would do anyway if you're not gonna cause a fuss. No, we're gonna freaking cheer her on. I know Olivia normally doesn't like this from strangers. But I'm no stranger to Olivia. She knows my intentions. We're friends. On screen, it looks like the characters are about to strike one another with their feet. I cup my hands around my mouth.
Go, Olivia! You got this!
Damien recoils from my scream. Or maybe I popped his eardrum, judging by the glare he levels at me. Then he raises two fingers to his mouth. I can't do that whistle. I cannot do that high-pitched whistle.
Heck yeah! You got this!
Even Liz tries to join, shouting down at the crowd with her own cheers. Oh, you know what would be cool?
You can do it, Hot Wheels! Yeah, go Hot Wheels, go!
Olivia flinches and turns her head to look back at us a bit. Curiously, so does her opponent. She sees us cheering and she gets her usual disfavoring furrowed brow. No way, I'm sticking to my guns.
Eyes on the screen, Hot Wheels! He's gonna get you! Beat him without even looking!
She stares right through the crowd at me. It's only an instant, but it feels longer. But her subtle scowl cracks. Then it completely folds into a smirk back at us. She faces back to the screen with renewed vigor. Buster shakes his head to snap himself out of his own slog. Looks like he was only intending to lose by a little. He's picking up the pace now. Only... Time! The match times out.
Ah! Dang! Wanna go another round? People need a winner.
Actually, mind if I run to the restroom real fast?
Shit, yeah, it's down that way.
Olivia turns and smiles at me again. It's warm. Then she goes off to the restroom. Buster waits for her to be out of earshot and scrambles over to Damien and I.
Hey, you two. You guys weren't serious, right?
Huh?
You were saying Hot Wheels. That's not really her, right? The Hot Wheels from a decade ago? Yep, it's her. Why? Damn, I feel like a jackass now.
You were throwing for her, weren't you?
A little. Your buddy Finhead gave me some sob story about her during our match, and I felt bad, okay? Who wants me to know it's the asshole that picks on cripples?
Ooh, Buster was being hospitable to the young lady.
Who the fuck? Shut the... Yo, Buster, are you simping? Pissed off! But yeah, I didn't mean any disrespect or anything. Crap, I didn't know she had a history here. Should have more respect than that.
He sighs. What'll you do now?
I'll play for real. It's what she deserves.
That's all we ask. Buster nods and turns with a thumbs up. He cracks his knuckles and neck in preparation for the first legitimate match of the day. You're still kinda simping though!
Shut the hell up, Dave!
Olivia returns, sliding up to the machine once more. Thanks for waiting.
No problem. Ready?
You know it.
Good, because you're going down this time.
They give each other one last competitive leer before putting all their focus on the screen. Just as before, Buster chooses the OP character and Olivia picks Wani Long. As soon as the in-game announcer yells fight, Buster immediately goes in for the kill, the total opposite to how he was playing last match. It catches Olivia off guard for a moment, leading her character to get a massive combo that takes away a good chunk of her health. True to his word, he isn't holding back this time for Olivia's sake, dealing her the same level of beatdown brutality he gave to the opponents before her. It seems to only invigorate her, putting her skills and hands into overdrive. Even though Buster is going at full force, Olivia still manages to get Wani Long to land a few punches and kicks, along with evading some attacks. The crowd seems to notice the reappearance of Buster's lethality, causing an uproar of cheering and whoops. Damien, of course, follows suit.
You got this, Hot Wheels! Kick his ass!
Can't let him be the only one, right?
Show him why you're the champ!
Unfortunately, not even Olivia could beat Buster's true fighting skills, and like his previous opponents.
KO Bold wins!
The crowd is a mix of groans and cheers and excitement as the ill-fated defeat of Olivia. Buster crosses his arms, basking in his self-pride of beating the legendary Hot Wheels. Damn, you really handed my ass to me.
Didn't I say I was kind of a big deal around here?
Yeah.
No, I gotta admit, you gave me a real challenge. I see why you're known as Hot. I see why you were known as the champ.
Thanks.
If you're ever up for a rematch, you know where to find me.
With that, Olivia makes her way over to us, a smile beaming across her face.
Alright, who's next?
We exit the crowd into a more spacious part of the arcade.
That was awesome, Liv!
You really gave him a run for his money. I know, right? I mean, I know I'm a bit rusty, but the moment I got my hands on the controls, he gave me a real fight. I was so close to beating him. Despite having been outmatched and losing to Buster, she seems to be having even more fun than ever. I'm feeling all jittery after that fight.
That's the game of rust settling in you. Hey, you know they sell food here, right? We should get some snacks to celebrate.
Well, I was smelling grease. I was just assuming it was... He takes his own order and starts marching off in another direction.
Damien, wait for the rest of us!
Food, huh? You know what? I could go for a little something. Yeah? It is getting pretty late.
Come on, they went this way.
Liver starts plowing through the crowd once more. Oh boy, this again. I'll call it exercise.